Welcome back to part 3 of my time in Wisconsin. Today we are going to visit the Mid-Continent Railway Museum, located in North Freedom, Wisconsin. This nonprofit railroad is very special because it has a mixed variety of different types of equipment, from wooden to steel, from diesel to steam, and more. Our dear friend Bob Risto was able to be our tour guide today. He took us behind the scenes and showed us everything from the machine shop to the repair sheds and more. We started our tour in the machine shop where we got to see where everything is being repaired, from steam locomotives to diesels. The main star of the attraction was the number 1385, a Chicago and Northwestern steam locomotive. No, that's not the one. She currently is out right now having the boiler work done, but is due back here any day now, and I know many are eagerly awaiting its return. And Bob had many amazing stories about how he got to work with the locomotive. Our tour then proceeded outside where we got to see the RIP yard, or restoration in progress. If it rolls on rails, this team can restore it. One of the pieces that is also close to completion is the Dardanelle and Russellville number 9, a 260 Mogul locomotive. And here is its tender. Don't that look just brand spanking new? This engine is very close to completion, so I'm excited to see it when it's done. What's cool is some of the volunteers that do come here frequently also own their own cabooses, so that way they can stay in there. Now that sounds like a fun perk to me. We were then taken over to the wood shop. This is where all of the wooden cars, or other miscellaneous wood items, will be brought in to be restored. Each one of them is in several stages of completion, from beginning, middle, to end. And each one of them was amazing to look at. If only they could talk. I love seeing the arched windows, the beautiful stained glass, and even the details in the wood were incredible. Look at that leaf engraving, and look at the beautiful stained glass window on top. As pretty as a church piece, that's for sure. And the talent to restore these is incredible. We then proceeded outside to the next shop. We had several pieces of equipment along the way to look at as well, from steam locomotives to cars, etc. And inside the next shop was a bunch of different pieces, from coach cars to freight cars, and yes, even a steam locomotive. This is Lake Superior and Ishpeming number 22, a 280 consolidation locomotive. Most of the times when it comes to this railroad, they were mainly in charge of the freight. They are especially more famously known for being iron ore carriers. They carried all the little tiny taconite pellets, or bits of iron in their cars, to the Great Lakes shipping yards, where that way they could be loaded and sent on out to the Great Lakes and beyond. And if you ask me, this engine was restored cosmetically beautifully, that's for sure. And this is more what I was referring to earlier. All of the different pieces of completion, as well as the different ages of cars. It was great to have such a variety. I mean, come on, you don't see that kind of interior hardware anywhere else. And each one of them has a special story of the different places that they've been to, the people they carried. One car was used as basically a school bus, and the other was actually used to carry fish. Yeah, you heard me right. There was actually a car that was especially outfitted to be able to carry different types of fish for lake restocking. Now, how often do you see that? One of the other rare pieces inside was a doodlebug. That's right, a motorized rail passenger car. This one is going to be restored to operating condition. Now that I'm excited to see. I mean, we were just blown away by the different pieces that were inside there. This is quite a great educational experience, especially for those who really aren't into trains as much as I am. It also helps one to appreciate exactly what we have. I mean, right now we have refrigeration units on boxcars that can help carry the produce. But back in the day, they had to use chunks of ice. Now, how often do you see that? This car was especially special to Bob. This is where he spent his honeymoon. No, get that dirty thought out of your head. This is where he and his lovely bride were able to spend their honeymoon restoring this beautiful car. I guess the old saying is true. The family that restores together stays together. The next barn had even more displays inside, some that were actually interactive. Perfect for people who are like me, hands-on learners. So it's much more fun to see things in action than to just read about it. But reading is also just as important because there are a lot of neat history facts on these cars. My favorite piece was an old baggage car. This one you could actually walk up some stairs, climb into, and explore. Now, especially for parents with kids, this was definitely a lot of fun. And to be able to get your hands on history Well, what better way to learn? You can learn all sorts of different things about the tools and different equipment that was used over history. Afterwards, we went across the street to where the station was. They had plenty of exhibits over there as well. Now, there were no trains running today, but we still had a wonderful time. I mean, look at that station. The history of it is just incredible. They even had a steam locomotive right next door, what we called a geared locomotive or logging locomotive. These were actually very, very popular in the mountains and rocky areas. They had hand cars there as well as narrow gauge equipment. It is pretty unique to see the differences between the two. After our little exploration session outside, Bob took us inside so we could explore the station. This station has a gift shop, ticket booth, and also a history area so that way you could learn more about the depot and the surrounding railroad history. When the trains are running, this is where you would get your ticket. They had really nice comfortable benches for you to sit down that have been fully restored, and what was also neat was they even still had the working coal stove. Perfect place to be on a chilly day. We owe a lot to Bob. He has been with the museum for a long time and is such a wealth of knowledge. He can teach you everything from steam to diesel to working on a lathe and more. When it comes to railroading, the man is a legend. Thank you so much, Bob, for doing what you do and for teaching the next generation what it takes to railroad. This museum has so much to teach and so many great projects waiting in the wing. And this is a 100% non-profit railroad. I 100% recommend anybody to come on over, take a ride, as well as volunteer or donate to this place because there is a lot of great projects that can happen. But without your support, none of this can occur. So come on down to the Mid-Continent Railway Museum or get a chance to sign up to be a member or donate today. Thank you so much for joining me. Be sure to stay tuned for my next segment.